Welcome to VLearn, Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 34 of the subject India, earliest times to the 8th century AD, and the chapter is Post-Gupta Kingdoms in North India. Topics to be covered are the regional powers, the Pushyabhutis of Thaneshwar and Kannauj, Harshavardhan, political condition of North India in post-Harsh period. Introduction. In the 6th century AD, the disintegration of the Gupta Empire gradually paved way for the growth of many smaller kingdoms. In certain regions, new kingdoms emerged, and in other areas, the dynasties which had earlier accepted Gupta suzerainty now declared their independence. For example, kings like Yasodharma and political powers like the Mokharis, the Hunas, and the later Magadhan Guptas were the new powers. So when the disintegration of the Gupta Empire gradually happened, it paved way for a lot of other smaller kingdoms, dynasties. In some regions, a lot of new kingdoms, dynasties emerged, and in other areas, the dynasties which had earlier accepted Gupta suzerainty, now they declared their independence, that they are free from the Gupta rule. And for example, kings like Yashodharma and political powers like Mukharis, they also were the new powers. Besides these, the Pushyabhutis, the Gaudas, the Varmans, and the Maitrakas also grew in importance. Regional powers. In the absence of a strong power, there emerged quite a number of regional powers in different regions. So when there was no central or a strong one power, there emerged various powers, various regional powers in different regions. So these powers, representing different dynasties, established their kingdoms and were often at war with each other. So in different states, they considered themselves the heads, the important dynasties. So when any conflict happened, they were often at war with each other. So different states from different powers, different dynasties, they were always at conflict with each other. Yasodharman. During the reign of Kumaragupta I, his feudatory Bandhu Varman ruled over Mandasar, as it was a major center of western Malwa. He belonged to the Olikara family, which perhaps ruled there up to the beginning of the 6th century BC, 6th century AD. Two stone pillar inscriptions from Mandasar in Madhya Pradesh, one of which is dated in 532 AD, refer to a powerful king Yashodharman. One of these inscriptions reports the victories of Yashodharman. So Yashodharman, this was during the reign of Kumaragupta, his feudatory Bandhu Varman ruled over Mandesar. And after that, Yashodharman, it was written about the family of Yashodharman, and two stone pillar inscriptions from Mandesar also refer to a powerful king, that was Yashodharman. The Mokharis. The Mokharis were an old family, as we find references to them in Patanjali's work and in other early documents. The Mokharis must have started gaining political power towards the end of 5th century AD, as the Harsha inscription of 554 AD mentions the rise of Yajna Varman from Gaya during this period. So the Mokharis, they were an old family, and they had references in Patanjali's work and early documents, and they have also started gaining political independence, political power towards the end of 5th century AD. And the Harsha inscription of 554 AD mentions the rise of Yajna Varman from Gaya. We also get the names of three Mokhari kings mentioned in the Barabar and Nagarjuni inscriptions who ruled in Gaya about 150 years earlier than their successors at Kannauj. The later Guptas. The Afsad inscription from Gaya gives the names of 8 Gupta monarchs: Krishna Gupta, Harsha Gupta, Jivita Gupta, Kumara Gupta, Damodar Gupta, Mahasen Gupta, Madhav Gupta, and Aditya Sena. The Pushyabhutis of Thaneshwar and Kannauj. A variety of sources inform us about the rise of the family of Pushyabhutis, which first ruled from Thaneshwar in Haryana and later from Kannauj in Uttar Pradesh. So a variety of sources inform us about the rise of Pushyabhutis. There was this family of Pushyabhutis who ruled from Thaneshwar and till Uttar Pradesh. These sources include the text Harsh Charita of Bana Bhatta, accounts of Hyun Sang, and some inscriptions and coins, etc. So these sources also include some text of Bana Bhatta, accounts of Hyun Sang, and some inscriptions, coins, etc. Banabhatta informs us that the founder king of this dynasty at Thaneshwar was Pushyabhuti and that the family was known as Pushyabhuti Vamsa. However, the inscriptions of Harsha make no reference to him. So the inscriptions of Harsha make no reference, but Banabhatta informs us that the founder king of this dynasty was Pushyabhuti only. Harshavardhana. Harsh ascended the throne of Thaneshwar around 606 AD and immediately marched against the Gaudas. He also entered into an alliance with Bhaskavarman, the king of Pragjyotisha, Assam, as both had a common enemy in Sasanka, the king of Gauda, Bengal. We have no information about whether Harsh entered into battle with Sasanka, but he was able to save his sister Rajasri, and the kingdoms of Thaneshwar and Kannauj were combined with Harsha now ruling from Kannauj. So Harsha and the king of Assam, they had a common enemy in Sasanka, that was the king of Bengal, and but we have no information whether he entered into a battle or not with him, but he saved his sister Rajashri, and the kingdoms of Thaneshwar and Kannauj, they were combined with Harsha, and he was now ruling from Kannauj. In fact, Hyun Sang's account mentions him and his predecessors as rulers of Kannauj. Political condition of North India in post-Harsha period. The empire built up by Harshavardhana had a very loose structure. After his death, even this structure collapsed. So the political condition was very weak. The empire which was built by Harshavardhana, it had a very loose structure, and soon after his death it collapsed. The events immediately following the death of Harsh have been described at some length by Wang Huin, who had been deputed as an ambassador by the Chinese emperor. But as he reached the borders of India, the news of Harsha's death reached him. He tells us that Arjun sent an army to check the entry of the Chinese ambassador. So that was all about the Guptas and also the Harshavardhana and after his death. The political situation was the empire was very weak, the structure was very weak, the political situation, the economic condition, the social condition, that was also very weak during that point of time. And soon after his death, his empire and the structure got collapsed, and it was basically left, and a lot of successors also came in, but nobody was able to hold that. That's all. These are some of the questions. You have to do it yourself. Question number 1, write in about 10 lines the relation of Harsha with other powers. And question number 2, what was the political condition in North India in the post-Harsha period? Answer in about 10 lines. That's all. Thank you. Happy learning. We learning.